Thank you to SnakeStone97 for their generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description. Hello, everyone. My name is Decker Link, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to the Smoke Room. An update came out for William's route. William. Apparently, this update gets pretty fucking heavy. Like, so much so that they had to give a warning at the beginning of the Patreon announcement. I haven't seen it yet, but now I'm telling you as a warning, at least according to the person who fucking wrote this update, who said that this update took a lot out of them emotionally. According to them, be forewarned. This one ain't for the faint of heart. So if you don't recall, in the William route, right before this, someone attempted to shoot up the poker game and did manage to clip Murdoch, though he is fine. And the person who did it is dead now and laying in that cell. And now we're talking about some suspicions. In this line here, there's no doubt in my mind he's responsible for some of it. He's referring to the titular Mr. Hendricks, who has a bit of a feud going on with William. I felt a pit in my stomach. What sorts of strange things, William?
Todd, we're in trouble on Mrs. Green just for her pies. Her husband's missing.
I looked back over to the jail cell. I could see the moonlight on those sheets. It's not hard to imagine them rise and fall beneath the fabric. They don't. Should we be talking about this here?
He can't hear you, son.
But what if he can?
He's not anybody no more.
Unless there's something inside of him that still can. Something that poisoned him. Just like Jack's cave. Just like dirt beneath our feet. This town's cursed. I think William knows that, and he doesn't know how to put it into words. I don't think he's a spiritual man. I've never seen him go to church, though it's not like I do either anymore. Just feels disrespectful is all. William looks at me like he knows I'm fibbing.
What are you afraid of, Sam?
Most of everything. I was brought up a God-fearing man. William crosses his arms and furrows his brow.
You're dodging my question, but I'll entertain it. Leviticus 18:22 never held you back from doing what you do.
Oh, he quoting the Bible at us. Let's give some context to that. Feels wrong, me looking up a Bible verse, considering I fucking despise organized religion by and large. So here it is. The oft-quoted anti-gay thing, which totally is taken out of context, even in a book that should not be taken literally or used for any basis of an argument. The quote is, "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination." If you use that verse or the mindset surrounding that verse as a reason to discriminate or hate anyone based off of their sexual preference, I hope you burn in the fiery pits of hell that you believe in and I don't. If they exist, I'll see you there with me. You don't seem like the type who memorizes scripture, Sheriff.
You pick up a few, time and again. But that ain't important. I don't take you for much of a literalist, Sam. You read between the lines when you want to. I don't think you're afraid of God standing in that corner. From your perspective, surely he could hear us just as well in my office as in front of that corpse.
The both of us turned to the sudden, loud banging of a hammer. Ooh.
And he could hear us over Todd boarding up my window, too. Him being all-knowing and all-powerful and all.
Fair enough.
So I'll repeat myself, Sam. What are you afraid of?
I've never been much good at blocking things out, even when I want to. Just some mean and stupid rocks tumbling around in my head.
Don't call yourself stupid. Only I'm allowed to do that.
Says who?
The red on your face.
He pats me on the cheek. I slap his hand away.
What are those rocks spilling out, Sam?
Just an ordinary sin.
Such as...
Doubt. William hems.
It's ordinary for men to doubt the existence of God, Sam. I don't think you should be hard on yourself for that.
I ain't scared of him being fake. If God ain't real, we just don't exist anymore when we die. And that'd be that.
I know that there are worse things than never waking, for certain. So what's the worst thing you have on your mind?
Doesn't seem like he's gonna budge on this. I already feel guilty for thinking it, so I might as well say it. Well, I cough and clear my throat. It's the same fear I've always had, really. Ever since I was a boy. I knew that if God must be real, starting to stutter over my words, I knew I'd be scared of the possibility that our tiny animal minds could never begin to process what God really is. The Bible was written by people, so they wouldn't be able to get close neither. And that we'd never understand the vast and terrible workings that make up his mind, soul, and body, and that when he makes us in our mother's womb, he already knows who we'll be and how we'll die. Right at the very start. And it don't matter if we're good, we're kind, we're cruel, we're callous. We're all just a meal for him. And though the entirety of our lives he feasts on everything that we are. The trembling of my lips stops. The sweat from my brow. If you can hear me, God, I'm sorry for thinking that. But every time I push the thought away, it always comes back.
Christ almighty.
I told you that the thought was wicked. The coyote pinches the bridge of his nose.
No, I asked. This is what I deserve. I just never pinned your brain for being that...
He waves a paw in a circle in the air.
Artistic. That's all.
I think I bothered him. That's a mite difficult considering the gunshots, the wounds, a dead boy. But I'll step to it.
A bit of rest will do us all some good. You should go back to the hip. I have a faint inkling you wouldn't get a wink of sleep tonight if you stayed.
Wouldn't stay, not even if you paid me.
I'll make sure you're checking with me tomorrow. We need to put ideas together.
You have a lead?
This one should be easy.
How?
Sam, we have a bullet and a firearm. You think a boy's just running around willy-nilly with a loaded gun he bought at a store so he could stalk and gun down a target after hours? No, an adult gave him that weapon.
But who?
Either somebody very crafty or somebody very stupid. I'll bet the rest of my left ear that it's somebody very stupid.
What time should I show up tomorrow?
Apart from a visit to the coroner and purchasing a window, I should be here all day. So whenever suits you.
I'll see what I can do. I open the door, let my eyes adjust to the dark road. Seems like nobody's coming. Good.
Hey.
I turn to William's barking voice behind me.
Just one more thing before you go, Sam.
Yeah?
Lighten up.
He shuts the door on me. Wish I could, you stubborn bastard. Maybe he stayed calm because he thinks he won. Because he protected us. Because he thinks he's always one step ahead. But if that bullet wasn't clean, it broke Murdoch's skin. If it gets infected, he might die. And I think somebody wanted that bullet in Cliff. I can't be calm about that at all. I don't think you should be either, William. Then again, maybe you aren't. I don't know. Maybe next time I should ask what scares you. William, Chapter 2. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck be you? You shady figure? You creepy fuck? Morning again. Sleep is easier since I told William the truth. But I miss the carefree feelings I used to get. It ain't like life was easy before this business with Jack. But I can't say I feel like the same person. I'm worried about things I used to shrug off. I don't want Nick to think I can't laugh with him like I used to, and I don't want that fox to get sick. Ruminations like that give too much pause for a job all about being present in the act. I don't want this to carry over into that. The sudden knocking makes me flinch beneath the covers. Are you decent, Samuel? Yes, ma'am. Hey, Madam Dora. I was more excited when I first saw her the first time, but my fucking microphone cut out on me for no goddamn reason. So my original reaction to seeing Madam Dora can't be used. I was excited, though. I said she looked elegant, because she does. Thank you, shit-ass computer. She enters the room, closes the door, and lets out a huge sigh. Still in bed. I suppose it can't be helped considering the wild night you had last night. You know about what happened last night? How couldn't I? The mayor and that ghastly principal are putting on airs in my own home. As if nobody in this town has been stabbed, shot, or beaten before. Complaining about that in front of me, of all people. I blink, watching her pace back and forth. I've a mind to tip my glass over the both of them, but my drinks are much too expensive to be wasted like that. I glance to the right, then to the left, breaking eye contact. Ma'am? The doe lets out another long sigh. My apologies, Sam. You're not used to hearing me prattle. Well, more like it's usually about me. Good, 'cause it's about to be again. They both wish to speak with you. Throw off the covers. Me? What for? I don't even know these people. Most likely to manipulate you and pump you for information. You're an easier target than that rumbling artillery tractor. She's really emphasizing the R sounds here. Stories about the sheriff's other deputy have flown the coop. Though sometimes they think you're the real deputy and Mr. Bronson is the trainee since you've more muscle. The poor dear. She sighs and shakes her head. Well, it can't be helped. For the love of everything, make yourself decent and meet me in the powder room in 5 minutes. I want these busybodies out of my home. She leaves the room. I grumble and stretch and make my way over to the vanity. I was so tired that I never took off my clothes last night. Maybe a bit dingy. I don't see any of Murdoch's blood on me, so that should be fine. Dab a clean-smelling pine perfume on my wrists and behind the neck. Reflection tells me that I'm still not in a meet the mayor of Echo condition. Oh well. Let's get this train wreck over with. It's not so normal to see this room mostly empty. There's an old, frail rat in rich men's clothing. Never spoken to our mayor, Mr. Testerman, before, but frankly, I never thought I'd have to. The severe and formal-looking vixen who glared at me from behind half-moon spectacles I don't recognize. Dora, who sits on the couch parallel to them, calls out to me. There he is. Come here, Samuel. Please take a seat. She beams at the rat and the vixen, wearing her best smile. A drink, Mr. Burns? I'd rather we had explanations from your employee, thank you. I scratch my head. I'm always happy to help in any manner. She meets her gaze with mine. You were at the sheriff's department last night. I blink. How'd she know? And again, I suppose any of the three who brought Murdoch home could have explained the matter. Can you explain why my only son came home oozing blood at God knows what hour from a gunshot wound? I scratched my head again. We were just playing a friendly game of poker. Then some kid shot at us through the glass. I think the gunner was aiming at somebody else. His son pushed him out of the way. The vixen's eyes narrowed. So what you're telling me is that his injury was avoidable? Well, I suppose, but if he hadn't... I have no further questions. Even as soon as we said that, Dora was like, you dumbass. Like, we fucking saw... Oh, boy, we just got William in a lot of trouble, I think. It sounds like what this young man did was very noble, wouldn't you agree, Sam? I suppose. I'll take an Earl Grey now, Dora. Since you offered. Of course. Dora rings the porcelain handbell. Harlan appears, his face expressionless. You heard our guest. Black, 1 sugar. Mayor, would you like a drink as well? Oh, he said there was an old fucking severe fucking formal rat. So let's go with a
I'm afraid I'm only thirsty for answers as well, my dear.
Answers are not something you can drink. May I suggest a water with lemon? He gives her a toothy smile and shakes his head.
Well, words.
Dora laughs. Murdoch's mother doesn't. I just feel secondhand embarrassment.
But no, this is no day for
niceties. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't read that word right. He turns to me.
A man named Huxley Green is missing. Not a union man, so there shan't be another upset. Thank the stars.
His eyes brightened at that last, but while he pointed his finger at the ceiling. You just have to get on camera, don't you? You just have to. Jesus Christ.
Give my beak a smooch.
No.
Give me a smooch.
No.
Give me a smooch.
This is incredibly uncomfortable. Christ. I don't like this. Then they darkened a bit again.
But another disappearance may mark the actions of an insidious criminal.
His beady eyes blink at me.
Does William know about this yet?
Sure does. I'm not sure. Why should I know?
Well, surely William tells you all sorts of things.
Such as?
Perhaps problems with work, or cases he's struggling with.
That sounds more like stuff he'd tell his deputy.
But it can't just be his deputy he shares that with.
Why can't it?
Well, you know, sometimes one ear isn't enough.
Well, Todd has 2 of them. Was this rat sweating? This is our mayor? No, he's the figurehead for fucking Mr. Hendricks. Aren't you William's boss?
Well, yes, after a fashion.
Can't you just ask him these questions yourself?
Well, yes, I could.
Harlan sets a silver platter in front of us on the coffee table.
But sometimes it can be more useful to hear these things from other people. You know how Mr. Adler can be like.
Suppose so. The old rat looked over to the vixen with pleading eyes.
Mrs. Burns, were there any other questions you needed to ask yourself?
She took the teacup in her hand and sniffed it. No. She sipped silently at the cup. Dora claps her hands. Well, then, that's that. My handyman has a very busy day ahead of him, as do you all, so we shall not keep him. I don't need to be told twice that it's time to go. That wasn't at all like I thought it would be. But I didn't want to be in that room for a second longer. The mayor was hopeless, and I had a bad feeling about the old vixen. Almost like I said too much without barely saying anything much at all. How frustrating. Whoa. I just noticed something about this picture. I don't know if it's on purpose, but I'm getting flashbacks to like when Chase was locked in that room and he like had that hallucination. I don't know. Weird. Sam, you're leaving so soon again? Not like I'm trying to sneak out. Just have to go talk to William again. She sighs. What's wrong? You know why I have to go. I know. That's not why I'm mad. So what is it then? Is it because I'm not around as much during the day? She looks at me with some annoyance. I have other friends too, Sam. And yeah, I do miss you a little. But this is bigger than just some social insecurity. What is it then? Well, as of late, everybody in this town seems to think the invisible urban detective is going to solve all of our problems. Invincible urban detective, okay. They act as if a single criminal is at the heart of it all, and that shooting them with a gun will make all the miners happy again. Or bring respectable jobs to the women here. Or that a native sheriff reflects a golden opportunity for Echo's Masada. He's not even Masada, Sam. His tribe's from the northeast. The stupidity is a butter churner. Samuel. And my brain is going solid. I don't think any of those things, though. I know you don't. Like I said, it just reminds me of all the people who do when you have these private conferences with him. My voice whispers, he's helping me. She whispers back, but wouldn't the best way to help you be just keeping his mouth closed? I've gotta go. Don't forget the shopping list. I snatch it out of her hand and make my way toward the back entrance. I decide to skip breakfast in the kitchens and make my way over to William's place.